Welcome to the Emperor's Forge. Episode 1. The Iron Traitor.
By inquisitorial mandate, I, Inquisitor Praxis, lead a 500-point battalion of the Sisters of Our Martyred Lady to this barren rock. Among them are 3 squads of battle sisters, each equipped with the Holy Trinity of Melter, Bolter, and Flamer, the Simulacrum Imperialis, and their own incenser cherubs, bringing the light of the Emperor with them. And then my old friend, Canoness Valerie, leads them, with her ever-present accomplice, the priest Fane. The Iron Hands have ignored my warnings, and they have ignored my mandate. They will ignore me no longer.
My battle brothers and I make planetfall with the striking fury of the Emperor. A small patrol detachment led by Iron Father Furios and a Magos Tech priest, accompanied by us, the Gorgon Terminator Squad. In support, we bring a Landspeeder Tempest and a 5-man tactical squad. We are aware of the Sisters' force here, though they have taken many pains to try to hide from us. We don't know what logic is leading them to make planetfall on this dead world, but we are here for other things. And as we search building to building, I feel eyes watching us, cold and calculating and hungry.
The haste with which the Inquisition makes planetfall does not allow for an elaborate trap. The victor today will be measured in blood and bodies, determined only after the dust has settled. However, neither force is sure of the other's position, instead waiting for the Iron Hands to get completely committed to their search before putting their forces to field. Representing this unknown is the rule of concealed deployment, with the Iron Hands placing their markers on either side of the battle grid in 2 corners. Similarly unknown, the Inquisition-led Sisters of Battle force deploys in a spearhead wedge formation, attempting to break the unsuspecting Iron Hands army into 2 distinct factions and hammer each individually before they can regroup. Taking the initiative, the Inquisition moves to secure high ground and cover, for even an Inquisitor will not last long in the open against the firepower of the Emperor's Angels of Death. Having laid eyes on his enemy, Praxis decides to summon Caliban, the daemon host bound to him through his Catacomb Infernus. But in the event that Caliban is not enough, he summons a squad of Battle Sisters to join him on the high ground, partly to provide fire support, but mostly to provide bodies to put between him and the bolter rounds about to come firing his way. Sensing that Praxis meant to make a fight of it, Canoness Valerie ran across the open courtyard of the church, taking with her 2 squads of Battle Sisters in an attempt to make contact with the Iron Hands before Praxis could plunge them all into a firefight. However, this gambit will leave her Battle Sisters dangerously exposed if the Iron Hands see fit to return fire in force, costing them not only their mission, but all of their lives. Oh, Canoness, were it another day, I would see your attempt to avoid a conflict as admirable, but this must happen for me to fulfill my mission. Allow me to force your hand and prevent you from turning traitor. Seeking to ignite this conflict before the Canoness can reach the Iron Hands, Praxis immolates one of the Gorgon Terminators with his smite. He then attempts to dominate the Terminators to turn their weapons upon their lord, but their will is too strong and their rage too great. Unable to fire due to their advancing rush, and now caught out in the open, all Canoness Valerie, Fane, and her sisters can do is brace for the rage of the Iron Hands due to Praxis, and pray they live long enough to defend themselves.
So, that is why they are here. After seeing one of my battle brothers brought down by psychic heresy, we quickly move forward in an attempt to find where this blasted psyker is so we can end its life.
The Landspeeder moves up through the ruins of this Mechanicus city towards the squads of running sisters in hopes to lay down overlapping fields of fire. Iron Father Furious, upon seeing the death of one of his Gorgon Terminators, quickly moves up, using the storage container as cover as he tries to find where the hostiles are. The tactical squad, now that battle has been joined, moves forward behind an old, rusted drop pod. Their bolters aim forward at the sisters that they see running through the ruins towards them, already laying down fields of fire. The Magos, seemingly unfazed, moves forward towards the building in hopes that what he is seeking is in there. And as the two forces look at each other across the battlefield through the ruins, neither is willing to give an inch now that first blood has been drawn. The Iron Hands prepare for a fight with bolter and blade, and no mercy. Though normally taciturn and logical, the fact that these sisters had the audacity to strike down one of their own has opened up the wells of rage that Clan Radican is so well known for. And with that, the battle is joined.
Unleash your fury, brothers! I cry as we trigger the full auto of our copy bolters in the direction where the psychic blast came from. Though our bullets are true and our aim flawless, the buildings in the way soak most of our shots.
Seeing the telltale flashes of combi bolter fire, the Inquisitor quickly ducks down, and most shots do miss him, though a few punch through and explode quite close, enough to do damage, but not enough to kill. The tactical Marines, without any hesitation, open fire on the canoness that they see taking cover behind one of the pillars. Though again, the ruins seem to be sturdy and strong, though they are heavily damaged and old, and most of their shots are soaked by the walls. The land speeder opens fire at both squads, first with its assault cannon and then with its Typhoon missile launcher, hoping to strike a devastating blow. But because they move so quickly to get within firing position, their shots go wild. Though one sister, by either bad luck or fell chance, is struck down by one of the assault cannon's bullets. Ironfather Furios, upon spotting movement in one of the upper windows and seeing his Terminators lay down heavy fire, turns his Gorgon's wrath upon that building, though, again, his bullets, though accurate, fail to do any damage. Realizing that their fire would be ineffective while the canoness is behind the walls, the tactical Marines decide to go in with blade instead of bolter. The sergeant rushes in quickly, closing the gap between him and the canoness, hoping to strike a fatal blow. The other tactical Marines quickly join their sergeant in the vicious melee, and as they all strike down, the canoness falls to her knees as if in prayer. And as if by some miracle, this bright nimbus of light surrounds her, and their blows are turned aside. Quickly standing back up, the canoness strikes back 5 times. Though the sergeant manages to get out of the way, the 4 other tactical Marines in his squad are not so lucky, and they are brought down, their armor rent asunder. The sisters have claimed more Iron Hand lives.
Left with naught but the choice of survival, the sisters move to rain their holy trinity down upon the land speeder. Using his demonic power to take flight, Caliban is sent across the gap to take aim at the Terminators. Knowing that their only hope for survival is to advance into cover, the Battle Sisters squad moves to take the crater and gain line of sight on the Tech Priest, as they also stand by to render aid to their canoness if required. The final Battle Sister squad moves to take the barricade, ready to bring their Holy Trinity down upon either the land speeder or the remaining tactical Marine should their canoness require support. Needing to know why the Iron Hands have disregarded his writ and his warning, he bears down on Ironfather Furios' mind with a mental interrogation, gaining access but failing to find the answers he seeks. Seeing now that his first target was an error, Praxis redoubles his psychic effort and smites the Terminators to ensure that the rest of his charges are able to capture his second target. While renowned for their augmentations and their strength, even Iron Hands crumple beneath the force of the Inquisition. Directed by his master, Caliban unleashes his unholy gaze upon the Gorgon Terminators below. However, though their flesh is weak, their augmentations bring them through the unholy gaze unharmed. Emboldened by their Inquisitor, the Battle Sisters squad decides to unleash their holy trinity upon the unsuspecting landspeeder below, reducing it to molten slag. But in their zeal, they trigger an explosion in the Promethium tanks, killing one of their own. But the Inquisitor, no stranger to pain, lives on. And at the same moment, the second squad uses their faith and fury, combined with the fury of their martyred lady and their lost comrade, to reduce the Magos to a barely functioning pile of smoldering ashes. With the battle all but won, Praxis decides it's time for an abject lesson and calls down a cyclonic torpedo as a final nail in the coffin for all those who defy the Inquisition. In an attempt to finish his master's work, Caliban flies down to engage the Terminator, but though its flesh is weak, the Terminator stands strong. And in a last act of defiance, the Sergeant swings for Valerie before she has time to raise her guard, but in an act of faith, Valerie takes the blow and returns it, finishing the Sergeant. And in the aftermath, the Iron Hands retreat from the field, and Valerie plans words for her Inquisitor.
Thank you guys for joining us for our very first narrative battle in this campaign. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we had a lot of fun putting this together. It was a lot of work, but worth it in the end, we think. Like I said before, we hope you guys actually enjoy and join us for the remaining bit of this narrative campaign. We will see what happens to the Iron Hands and see what the actual reasons were for this whole fight. So, again, thank you for watching The Iron Traitor, and please join us for the next one, The Vengeful Gorgons. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys later.